We're still in August. We're still in fall. You're on the Wise One channel, and I'm your host, Liv Caren. And I'm glad you're still glad you're here. And this morning is oh, so I really can't see that's there. Okay. So yeah, except yeah, kind of. Uh, I put on this. Where do I want to focus on my resources? What I want to do with my energy? I think that's probably the list. And right now, I'm just going to take a moment to breathe. Okay, just try this morning. Deep breathing. Pause here. With your own. Take a deep breath in. And out. Push the diaphragm. Rise. Stop. We are getting close to the new moon. Oh, sorry, because the whole heaven is going to see it. Should be able to see it. Something in thought right now. What is what's going on? They have to eliminate something. Right. Or they, yeah. But, I'm writing that. Keep track of what I'm saying. And keep track of what I'm putting in YouTube in the content to try to structure our YouTube. Can you touch it? Yeah. Oh, they were. Yeah. Where am I? Good. I didn't post it as a question, so I should have posted this as a question. So, to with our resources, to with our time, our energy, our attention, our focus. So valuable resources like water, food, shelter, building material, putting our focus. That's what we harvest. That's what we get back to a certain degree. That's where we get results and consequences out of all the things that we put our focus on, put our intention on. And law of attraction gets so close, and then all of a sudden it takes weird turns. I'm like, okay, the big systems to them. Whoa, where are you going with that? But our energy and our focus. What I mean by that is what you pay attention to, what you focus on, what you bring to the front of your consciousness rather than letting your subconscious or your secondary thinking, feeling, living, and intuitive, just the stuff that keeps working in the background. That our brains are so complicated and beautiful, intricate workings of the human brain. That we're just getting to strive to grasp what they can do. And our ability to think, and our ability to consider, and the ability to focus what we want, whether or not we want it, it becomes, it's sort of like how what we focus, what we look at, what we touch, what we put our senses on. The more senses we have, the more we're bring to our attention, the more we surround ourselves, the more we have perspective, point of view. Because these things are how our brain in this isolated dark recesses of our cranium, of our skull. This is the beauty of something that can't see, it can't hear, it can't touch, it can't do any of the other sensories, several other sensories. But it has this information from the things that we see with our eyes outside of the brain, from the things that we touch with our fingers outside of the skull. It's so fascinating. Our brains know that we're watching YouTube, though it can't see it, it can't hear it, it can't experience that. Think about that for our soul. Our soul are these ectoplasmic energy, just the pure and utter energy. Like our spirit, it's just these spiritual entities, and we're steering the essence of our physical form. So, how does it get? How does this entity of our brain understand and conceptualize and grasp and remember and retain and store all this info that it's perceiving, that we're experiencing, without doing it itself? It's like secondary perception. And then it's filtered by the way we feel, the hormones surging through our bodies in response to physical stuff, in response to what's going on in our environments, to respond to how it remembers, how it feels about something that occurred. Because a lot of people will be like, what happened that got you to feel this way? But yet this is an interesting perception that I have heard, like misconception that I have seen a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people talk about, and What's interesting is they'll say that love is no more than the hormones coursing through your body. Brain chemicals. But I have to consider, why do people think that something happened to make you cry? Why do people think that something happened that you're so excited and happy about? But when bipolar people have experiences from our internal feelings, from our internal occurrences that our body goes through, or that trauma has done to us. Yeah, you sit there and you wonder, like, it's internal, you know? They're like, what happened? Why are you crying for no reason? That would be, that would be why hormones course through our bodies to cause us to feel love. But no, it's because we experienced on the outside, or a remnant of the inside, or a connection to each other, that we have these feelings, that we have these hormones experiencing happen to us. So when we put our focus to parts of our experience, where we're looking at just the YouTube, and we're looking at what I'm telling you, and we're hearing what I say, and if there's some like you that share my experience, where we're talking back to the screen, though I can't hear what you're saying, conceptualize this idea that you may be saying things back to the screen. So we're going to take a moment and try to reminisce about a time that our experiences caused us to feel a certain way, or to start thinking, or to start doing something differently, to start our actions. Just take a moment to reminisce. Take a moment to sit in that moment and really get back in there. Draw yourself there. Start asking yourself questions. Why did that happen? What caused it? Where did it come from? Where was it going to go? What time did it happen? What time of day? What time of year? What time of occurrence or situation? Interesting times. Time of peace, a time of turmoil, or a time of... Now bring that back here. This, in this moment, from this time, and this experience where you're still sitting here with me too. Sitting here with wise one. Sitting here with me lady. I want you to take that, and I want you to start grounding yourself, focusing in the moment here. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? And if you're blind, it's pictures in your head that you may or may not have conception of sight, or the conception of hearing. What do you taste? What do you feel? Chair, air, moisture in the air, the pressure in the air, the clothing that you may or may not have on, the outside, the sound. How does it help you understand what you're experiencing? That past event, how does it affect this present moment? Now that you brought it up to your forethoughts, take a moment, let that sink in, let that occur. allow the time to pass. Grow the time. Grow your experience. Grow you. And in that, I want you to take that. See, when you do, let me just shake the camera. So when you do that, and then you focus from your past, like the thoughts, the feelings, the images, sounds, the emotions that come with it, give you a sense of going away from avoidance and drawing you in, attracted to, and drawing you towards. Whether it's a taste, a food that you want more of, or a food that you just want to puke out and get rid of and rid it of your existence. Or rid it in your existence of it. So take that. You have that. And you understand law of attraction should be my law of attraction. The way that I would navigate law of attraction would be your focus or your energy that you up in your forethought would have towards something or something that you like you want. Something for you personally that draws you, that gives you a good balance, a good sense of who you and what you are. But then to avoid, if you focus on the things that you avoid, that you're repelling things, that you're trying to get rid of things, items, experiences, tastes, sensations. It's an interesting racquetball game. You get it, you throw it, the ball comes back, yeah, whack it with your racket. And it keeps coming back because it's what you're focusing on, throwing. It's what you're focusing on, getting away from you. And then if you focus on the things that you like to come towards you or to be in your existence, you'll notice the stuff that's already there. And then you'll start noticing all the things that you want to move towards. And it's more of a sense of you moving towards it, or you allowing it to move towards you. And time and space is kind of relative. The concept of space, the concept of existing in space, solidarity, so with the physical form, right space. Then, or if you want to put your energy in it, if you throw a ball towards something that's going to bounce it back, it's going to bounce it back. You're going to get the ball back. You're going to get the air that comes with it. But you don't pay attention to the air that comes with that ball. You pay attention to the ball. You focus on the ball. You're going to get stuff in your experience. You're going to get additional feelings, thoughts, sensations, items. No matter what you do, it's going to be that continuously, and it's going to feel linear as we experience a linear time for a lot of us. It doesn't feel linear for everybody, but it doesn't perceive linear for everybody. But we're moving through space in what seems like a linear time. It's interesting how gravity perception it's intriguing. We'll get to that later. At another time, maybe. also then have this spiritual essence where we're connected to ourselves, to each other, to all living beings, including the earth. We think the earth is a living being. It flows. It consumes the water. It drinks the water. The ground drinks the water. The ocean moves the water around, but inside us, we're inside it, really through blood vessels, along through rivers and lakes. Water is continuously moving and letting that out of the earth. Air is continuously moving, it's breathing in, it's breathing out. We're breathing in, it's breathing out. This earth is part of our experience, whether or not we focus on it. This earth is where we are. This earth is all the things that provided everything that the astronauts are in space. For astronauts. Yes. There's a word for them. They're still out in space, but once it comes in the atmosphere, there's no other word. But the same route. It just becomes a different thing once it hits our atmosphere. Different name. Kind of a different thing. It's just a different name. It's science is fascinating. So we perceive and what we allow ourselves or decide to. We have what we decide to do, we have what we allow ourselves to do, and we have what happens to us and what we do. Now, when you say make good decisions, there's only a percentage of our actions and inactions that we decide on. Because our brain is doing a whole bunch more than what we're focusing on. Because we're not focusing on our secondary actions of our body. That's a lot. It still goes on. It still happens. We still breathe in and out. Our heart is still pumping. Yeah, it's here. Our heart is still pumping. Our intestines are still working. Our digestive tract is still doing its job. We can decide to focus on that. We can decide to take the whole day to focus on just our heartbeat to make sure it's beating its best beat that we know of to how it beats. And we can externalize about the things we can focus on, the things that we do, so we put our energy into, our thoughts into, our focus, our desire, invest our attention, with all the emotions that come with it. This is all the our finances, our home, our shelter, our food, our young ones, our learning and becoming who they are. Our coffee, what we put into our body, we can focus on that if we choose to, if we decide we want to. When we notice that we can decide to, when we notice that we have decisions, our energy can go into decisions. Then we also have to look at the con that we can end up with decision fatigue. What are we designed to do? How much of our attention needs to go into something? The more you learn about yourself, the more you learn how to move and navigate through the way other people work, the way other people might work, or the way people function and able to navigate. Where we notice, when we practice noticing about ourselves, we can practice noticing about other people. These are keys that can help us navigate our everyday life towards our purpose. If we want to have a purpose, if we need to have a purpose, if we're driven to have a purpose, that's essential for a lot of people. But there's this concept that a lot of people may not understand is that, or another part of the population, they can afford not to have purpose. They can afford to just do their daily life and be happy with what they're doing. To exist. There's nothing wrong with existing. It doesn't have to cost to exist. To be alive, to consume water, to breathe out carbon dioxide for the trees to breathe in. And that's a concept that I'm seeing in America. It seems to be pretty foreign. Is that existing seems to cost. I just buy that. It, to me, it's not very healthy. For other people, they may be navigating that essence of their life rather well, and it works for them, and they got it, and it's great. Should it work for everybody else? We should consider inclusive that it may not. That it doesn't. It really doesn't. So practicing, focusing on stuff is to focus on what you want rather than the stuff you're trying to avoid, because otherwise that stuff's going to get bigger, and that's what you're going to grow. There's this concept that I've learned in childhood that I hold on tight to something rather than grow something. I'm learning how to grow and to grow what I want out of my life, to grow strength, to grow a type of way of things where I have a straight back and I have strong shoulders and I get my food straight. I get my food on my coffee, do the things that I do, where I breathe and practice the breath of strength, confidence. And it can be practiced and it can be built like a muscle, it can be grown. If I want to grow something where I'm more healthy to those around me and to myself, it's a long practice, a very long practice. And the results are different. It's a you practice this, you get results. You get certain results. And you make it a varied result based on the fact that variations are occurring constantly, continuously. Like there's an image in your photons that that are aligned to the vision of your eyes. But instead of seeing a snapshot and then nothing, it's continuously moving extremely quickly. I have to move fast. Yeah, faster than you know, I can perceive how fast these builds of photons are. I mean, I'm scary by photons. Not a very nice thing. It's very interesting. Crazy. But yeah. But yeah. These are some of the things I wish I could teach my kids if they would watch these. I would be happy for that they are. But they would probably find this a very boring lecture. They would probably find it crazy talk. But then you have to realize that one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know, there's, so then there's so many ways. am realizing these things, and I want to teach you so that you have them and you can do what you want with them. So, constantly, there's these things I think about my therapist, and I want to show them, hey, check this out. Hey, check that out. I'd love to share this with you because it's monumental to me. I want to share your monumental, and yeah, I really love it. They have no idea. And I love that. But that's, yeah, I really appreciate everybody viewing us and the subscribers, between subscribers. I'm still shopping between subscribers. I'm like, who? I'm like, is there something wrong with this algorithm that it's stuck and I've lost subscribers and it won't show me how many I've lost and I'm game. But I'm not worried about it. I know that it's useful I'm putting these videos out because I want to ensure making content. If I find those people out there, or if this channel finds them, those who would enjoy watching content, then I get, uh, yeah, I need to edit this channel. And glad that you're with me so far. Am I crazy? Yes. The past videos show how crazy I am. Yes. Am I ashamed? In ways, yes. In ways, no. I am not apologizing for it. I am who I am. That's what I had with what I knew. I can't change it. I can edit the perception of it. It's yeah, it's fantastic. I'm a fantastic person. But you don't love it. Me to make it look good. Perception of how things are, presentation of how things are, how things could be, or how we want them to be, and how we want to perceive them, and how we want to understand this world and navigate our life and our experience and lessons for this world. You guys are amazing. Yeah, you guys are just wonderful. And you have no idea potential that you already reach. This needs cleaned. OMFNG. This I need to clean. I need to start the box. I got all that done because I wanted to get this done. I thought I could get that done. And then the door is done. I need to all these other things. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm my kind of crazy, and I want to be your kind of crazy. Ah, the bipolar, the ADD, the autism, and just the normal stuff in there. The typical stuff that we have been documented to perceive as typical in our everyday life is in there as well. The functioning stuff, the stuff that goes from day to day. Yeah, I've been on this for half an hour talking. Oh, this, the evolution between my first video, who it was, in essence, of how I perceived the world and how I interacted with the world and how I interacted with my existence and my life. In this world, in this systems, and this is fascinating. The character develops of myself, the things that I'm trying to do, to write, to create, to do this perception. It's possible. That's what I mean by where do I want to put my energy? Not where do I want to put my energy? No, I didn't ask. I said I got it. It's a wandering thought. It's a wandering statement. I'm has a cliffhanger. So the kind of energy I put into YouTube would be the kind of viewers that experience this show, that listen to the ramblings, that decide to tune in. And I appreciate you guys. Love to get monetized so that I can edit and get better camera, get better background stuff, better, more cinematic would be like doing that myself. Me forming cinematic. I'm focusing a lot of my energy on my craft, on my spiritual craft, because that what builds a better way, especially offering that to everybody else that needs it, wants it, or had it available, or choose. That is essential. Yeah, I'm taking my been putting my recipes on TikTok, sort of recipes. What I've been cooking for dinner, I've been showing you TikTok because I want to make it so, and I want to do it more consistently so that if I want to know what to cook for dinner, I can look through the recipes, look through the different TikTok videos, and go, oh, that sounds good. Why not have fish tacos? That's how I made fish tacos. It's an idea. It's a concept. We don't get, and so yeah, a bit more food on TikTok, probably more healthy stuff. Probably some of my smoothie blends. Yeah, I'm come up with digital stuff like Subway cookbook. I know you can get recipes for free, all the recipes and stuff like that, but I need money. You bring my cookbook stuff, my digital property that you could probably get for free, helps me support a better life where I can stay at home with kids, where I can stay at home and not cost more in gas. I don't understand. Okay. The government wants to pay for daycare. That's a good, and healthcare and all that stuff. And it's an idea, yeah, so that people can go out and work. And it's got to have its benefits. But I'm sitting there going, where does, money come from? Where does this taxation end up? And that's great. I mean, I understand. But I mean, I understand as a mom needing to go back out to the workforce and not having the cost to pay my whole check to the babysitter and then having the significant other pay the rest because I put gas in my car. I wonder why I don't go out. So something wasn't working. If it cost more, and that wasn't my passion, that was just a job. It wasn't a career. It wasn't a way of paying back society or contributing to an essence of who I was. It was just to make money, and it wasn't making money. It wasn't paying bills. So I'm trying to make quilts, to all sorts of arts and crafts, to all sorts of tarot readings, we go back to the tarot readings and the other divinations, and surplus money writes. I can write all day long. I've actually produced quality different to-do lists, meal plans, menus, ideas of raising kids, blogging as your blog, and podcasts, that kind of thing. I love it. If I start posts links where you can find all the hashtags or putting them up on here, it's important when I start doing those. I want to start doing those so that they're there and so that I can stream in more than one income to support and getting things that I need and to do that so that I'm not working and to work for me. Because quite frankly, going to work is I thought I was insane. Going to work was more insane than me. Some others episodes. Yeah, yeah. So that is why I am on YouTube, just info dumping my feelings, info dumping my craziness out on you guys. And I appreciate the views, and I appreciate the views, and I appreciate comments, likes, subscribes. I wouldn't be pushing for this, but this is something I really want, and I want to work and that is something I'm going to make happen. So, if you could support me, if you're in a position to support me, that's the thing. If you're in a position to comment, if you're in a position to like and subscribe, and you're in a position to get me noticed by the algorithm, and with the particular ad YouTube, that would be great. But yeah, I really want to build this community. I really wanted to do more. And getting a camera great for showing dishes. Apparently, you guys get to make dishes. So I was ever. So I'm gonna have to do dishes today. We'll see what happens. Oh, and cooking. Yes, lots of cooking. Cooking. Coffee. Find my coffee. Yeah. This is sweater. Yeah, they'll get better. They'll see the better parts. The crazy kids. The just crazy and hectic and really navigating through it. It's so the trauma that I've gone through, trauma that seems just it's intriguing. It's intriguing. Whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. So the next video is where I usually we're gonna put on our next video. Tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday, I believe, is our new moon. Yeah, new moon is dark. Yeah, our dark moon. It's gonna be gorgeous. Are we spiritually ready for that? So we'll talk about spiritually getting ready. Getting ready for our moon. The mundane, usual things, anywhere from our supernatural selves, spiritually, naturally, but that's besides the point. So the everyday life and the extraordinary aspect of our magical beings. So on our moon aim and in our aspects of our lives. The magical aspects of the mundane's getting ready because this comes with the cycles and the mundane lives are just as ordinary and just as essential in our workings as we cycle through our weeks, our days, our time, our existence. Yes, our lives. Our, our, yeah, and getting ready for school year, getting ready for, so we have kids, some of us have kids, and a lot of things I'm seeing where you don't have kids present. You know, like kids are supposed to be kids and have a childhood, and that excludes them from things that could help them be just in life, just help them be in their adulthood. Things that would give them the keys to navigate instead of going. Because we've had couples about a century or so of childhood where it's essential that children will go play and not do these things. And restaurants are having smaller and smaller children's menus are smaller and smaller. And like I'm not seeing these restaurants that I go to have children areas to play with, inclusive for the whole family. Those places, I'm watching the parents be incredibly drained. The ones that I've experienced, the parents being incredibly drained, while the kids are all excited and letting out suppressed feelings because they're not allowed to be anything but a certain derivative. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be a normal situation. Yeah, we're excluding children. Yeah, so then when they know they're going to grow up, right? Know they're going to become adults. Know the adults that we've done that to sit there and go, I can't adult today. I don't want to be an adult. I remember growing up going, my God, I can't wait to be an adult because I have to get rid of this not being able to do shit. Not having the freedoms and the rights and the allowances, when to go to bed, things. Yeah, no, I can't do that. No. So yeah, I want to put more stuff in here of how to be kid friendly and adult friendly and inclusive and not ageist against either elderly. Yeah, you can't just have a world of 18 to 22 year olds and only have anybody who's older than that be the one striving. Older than 25 people on the strike. No, the world is built for everybody. All right. Now that I've been getting in and go back to the positive stuff. Mindfully all around it's emotionally grounded. Yeah. That's what we need is to be emotionally honest. It doesn't have to be the happy medium between extremely excited and oh my god, so negative, some anger or sad or some history. It can be all over the place around it in those things. And so the next one will be preparing for that email next video. I'm glad I look forward to trying us talking about that in the morning. But it's I gotta get episodes done. I've done so much and I want to continue progress. And we will see tomorrow if I get that done. On tomorrow, trying tomorrow. Nice. Watch your YouTube videos. Did I get that shelf done? That little mess? Did I organize it? Did I make it look prettier? Did I put it where it belongs? Did I get it to where it should be? Yeah. We'll see. All right. All right. La, 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 la. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.